more. So sub to the channel, guys, if you can, or resub if your sub is dropped off. And I also wanted to tell you guys who the winner is. I'm just gonna sit here for a second. It's like a
Benson
silent
won.
silent
Benson won.
Go. I'm gonna type it in the chat. Sure.
Show it on stream, goalie.
How do you
Show
do
it all on stream, goalie.
Yeah, you won't do it. You won't do
No
it.
balls, you won't.
Put your pants on your head. You won't do it.
If he does it now, it's gonna be the most.
Goalie is gonna send you a message, Airflying 2K Ops. We need your address so that I can DM G Fuel.
Yes. Your address. We can come to your house. We can do weird things on your lawn.
Now you see, that's better than what I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna say we're gonna do weird things whilst you sleep. So I'm glad you stopped at lawn. I'm glad
I wouldn't mess with anybody while they're sleeping, dude. That's messed up.
That is messed
Dude,
up.
I'm 100%. If we're sharing a room, you're gonna wake up with shaving cream in your hand. You're gonna try and
slap
itch.
yourself.
Next thing you know, bam, YouTube video.
I'll fart in your face.
It was not rigged. He's a subscriber, so he was more likely to win. Congratulations there, Flying 2K Ops. If you guys like the giveaways, maybe G Fuel will do more of them for us. You never know.
I personally loved it.
You should
It was great.
right
Apart from the whole, the Benson USA thing. Apart from that, it was good.
That was pretty dope. All right, so here's my question for you, Matt.
Yeah.
And then Hitch, keep the question in mind because I'm going to ask you. So I've seen a little bit of tension. There's this guy on Twitter. I know you know who he is. Everybody calls him a robot. Blah blah blah. Says he pays pro players for follows or whatever. You know who I'm talking about?
10-year-old, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think he's real. He could be a computer. I don't know.
Yeah, Alex is his name. Yeah. He's a known hater of Optic. And doesn't necessarily like our show either because we talk about Optic too much or something. But
yeah,
there's he tweeted at me when I said Optic will win one of the first 3 events in this game. And he said, Krim is going to implode this team. And he said he's going to break down. And I'll be honest that I've seen a few little moments in streams where Krim has kind of started to vent, tried to have like that karma type of voice or even Aches, where when you're like that good, you complain when your teammates are doing the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. Now I've also noticed that Nade has had an ability to shut it up. And I'm kind of impressed because I've seen a weird side of Krim where Nade will be like, "Hey man, stop." He's like, just don't talk that way. We're going to focus. Yeah. We're going to win, blah, blah. And Krim will be like, okay. I got you. And then he'll say something and he'll say, all right. I'm trying not to be negative. I'm not trying to, I'm trying not to be negative. He's like, but we got to blah, blah, blah. He's like, why was that guy there? And Nade is like, we'll talk about it off stream, blah, blah, blah. And so what is it that has happened to Krim? Is it just the effect of the green wall, or does he just want to win? Or is that the same Krim? We're just seeing a different side of it. No,
it's the same Krim. I mean, that's the way Krim's always kind of been. I mean, the only difference is like him and Pat used to kind of just argue it out on stream. And I don't even think it's arguing like doubting teammates or something. It's Krim wants to win so bad that he just wants to eliminate all mistakes before they get to LAN. I wouldn't look into that at all. I think Optic's definitely going to win one of the first 3 events. So, I mean, if Alex said that, I mean, Alex probably Skype me later and tell me I'm wrong. And
me too.
But I mean, Alex, you're wrong. I think they're going to win one of the first 3 events.
Yeah, it's almost
just too much. There's just too much talent. Like, it's kind of. I mean, you look at a team like how they formed in basketball, like the Miami Heat. It's like, well, you just get all those players together and you figure it out after that. Like, if you can have a lot of people like, oh, they shouldn't have dropped Proof and Clay, whatever. But if you have a chance to get Krim and Formal, you drop pretty much anybody.
Except for Nade.
Like,
if you had Karma on your team, would you drop him for Krim or Formal? If it was Nade, Scump, and Karma, would you drop Karma to get Krim and Formal? Because Krim and Formal were like, we want to hold hands and play together.
MLG would change it to 5v5.
Nah. There's so I would say there's four players who they're pretty much spots safe on any team they're on. You're not really I would say it's Formal, Krim, Scump, and Karma. I would say those are the 4. You just don't drop any of those players. If you can get your hands on one of them, you just kind of ride it out.
I think they're
just a lot more. I wouldn't say they're a lot more talented than everybody else. I just think I would say there's eight or nine players who can sway like the determination of like an event one way or another, right?
Yes.
Like that can create a big enough difference in games and in series to win events. Like I think Optic has three of those players right now.
Yeah.
Karma's one. I think Saints is a player a lot of people overlook. I think he's another player that's a huge difference maker. You get players like that, you don't let them go. You just kind of ride it out. So I mean, that would be obviously like a tough one. I would probably have like stood pat. Like it depend on who the fourth was, but like
Would you
obviously,
beg Nadeshot to step down? Is that what you?
nah,
I think you need to play like nature on that team now.
I know.
yeah, you
Try to
do,
keep him in
you
trouble.
do.
Somebody has to get on a flag.
Yes, Optic needs Nadeshot.
Get on a flag. So glad we don't have to say that anymore.
Yeah, gosh. All right, so Hitch, how is Impact going to perform, and who is most likely to beat Optic?
Dang. I thought I was going to answer the other question.
What's the other one?
Impact, top 16.
You guys are nice.
What do you think? You think they're going to get first rounded in open bracket?
Top 24.
Damn, dude.
Oh, damn.
I can see it.
Kingdom's got him playing like free
Honestly,
play
think
side
in
stage.
order to get top 16, they're going to have to clutch.
They're going to
That's what-
get into a pool, or they're going to get into losers by being one of the top 8 open teams. And one of the good teams that's going to get kicked down to play them first round, if it's in losers in the champ bracket, they could lose and they'll be done.
I mean, it all depends on which pool they end up in, too.
Or if they make it to a pool.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I think they'll make it to a pool.
Hitch,
And then
most
who
likely
can beat Optic?
Yeah.
I mean, Denial, Envy. I mean, anybody. I mean, that's how Call of Duty has always been. If somebody's in an off game, another team can beat them. I mean, I don't know. I think Optic. If Optic shows up this whole tournament, they might drop like 3 maps. But then, of course, if they don't show up and the other teams like play to win or like really like step up, then they could I don't know. I mean, it all depends. I hate predictions. You guys know that because anything can happen in freaking Call of Duty.
I agree, and I think what people when you think of the term God Squad though, and people say that, I don't know if they are that, but I do think that they're more likely to drop less maps and to have less bad games than most of the other teams in competitive Call of Duty.
But the thing about God Squads, the thing that's so different about this team is previous God Squads, like we saw FaZe Black and like Curse LV, maybe if you want to say that. I don't know, like God Squads that people said, oh, they're never going to lose. They always came into tournaments cocky. They always came into tournaments like, oh, we got this. We're going to win. The only people we have to worry about is complexity, and then they get beat by some random team. Like FaZe Black got beat by Optic Nation and Niagara. It's like things like that have always happened. Whereas like these guys they're always playing with a drive, and you can see that when you watch their streams. And they're not going to let themselves get cocky, in my opinion. And I think honestly, the drive to beat STiKS and FaZe is what's going to keep them so like determined, because I think this FaZe versus Optic team might be the biggest. If they stick together, it might be the biggest rivalry like of all time, especially since it's because first of all it's STiKS versus Nade, then it's STiKS versus Crim6, so that just multiplies it to everything, and then
It takes versus
always
everybody. It takes versus everybody.
Yeah, that's
It's versus the world.
And then it's also been like, even though it's like only subconscious, it's FaZe versus Optic, like the two biggest organizations in the sniping community back in the day that started up around the same time. They've always been competing for YouTube views and things like that. Like finally they come together and have like a rivalry team, because FaZe has always kind of been a joke. And then just recently they started really putting together solid teams and things like that. So I don't know. I'm excited about it.
Apathy staying on that team and staying with Censor, regardless of how many videos he makes where he's talking about how Censor has no thumbs. Did you see Crim's tweet?
Yeah.
Where he went on his cell phone and looked for Censor's thumbs, and it said
That was Dale, though.
not
That was
found or whatever.
Seams.
Who was it?
Seems.
He's
I think. Yeah,
Oh.
he's the one that did it.
Oh, okay. So Krim just
It's
tweeted it out.
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. So I think that phase team, because of the chemistry, regardless of what kind of chemistry it is between Apathy and Censor, where they just literally they act as if they don't like each other, but they call each other a duo, and so them staying together is what, in my opinion, saved phase. I don't know what Temper said to Apathy, because I know there was teams hitting up Apathy, for sure. When Roster Mania happened, I know there was teams that were hitting him up to pick him up, especially some of these teams that ended up with these interesting, I'll say, whoa, oh, that's the background of where Benson's at. Something's funny.
Something in the MLG office. Apparently, someone just got kicked
In a game?
Yeah, that's why. That's what we do in the office all day.
See, that's
Like anybody over there could do it in real life, really.
Oh,
I'm just teasing.
Damn, no, that's
Fatty
true.
is over here.
oh, Fatty's gonna get the hands from Ben.
Shots fired, bang bang.
if anybody can answer this. This is from Roshi Randomin.
Yeah.
If Optic Nation places outside of top 8, does Karma try to leave that team?
No.
Probably not. No, I don't think so. I don't think you'd leave. I think
Why would he?
out of it.
Karma's smart enough to know that he's in a team full of talent. Like, full of talent.
Yeah,
Like,
but can they?
He would rather build upon that talent than get sued in Rostermania.
I love Optic Nation. I just don't know if they can win. If winning is their goal,
Oh, they can.
winning
I
in a
think they can. I think
They
they
100%.
capable of it.
They
Yeah,
can
I don't
Karma.
think it'll be this event. It'll probably be in the
You'd
next
have to
3 or
have like
4.
there's 3 teams that would have. There's 4 teams. Optic Gaming, Envious, Denial, and FaZe would all have to have crappy events in my opinion.
I don't think so.
For
I don't
Optic
think.
Nation.
I don't think crappy events. No.
Well, when I say
I think-
crappy, I mean not their best. You know, I mean
If Karma plays how Karma can play, they'll be fine. They have a
Right.
shot against. They have a shot against anybody if he plays the way
That's the thing.
you've seen him play.
For the first time in a really long time, we have 5 teams who can all compete for a championship.
it's crazy.
Right.
It's
I think it all
honestly, it's
depends
just on the day.
TP. I think if TP can turn out to be a really awesome Slayer,
Oh, we
I
know he
think-
can slay.
I think that's really the factor. Because I think Embo's, I mean, he can slay a little bit, but he's going to have to be that OBJ player. Stay in the hill, not on the flag. Gosh, chat.
Low key, we have to put. Oh, they're gonna abuse me. Low key, we have to put. I think low key, we got to put Justice in contention for one of these top teams.
Oh,
You
just
said
Oh,
last
yeah, they
year.
Justice
are.
too. Yeah, so that's six teams right there that could potentially win a championship.
That's crazy.
Plus, you could add, like the likes of Aware. That if everyone else plays bad and Aware go on a big run, they could win a championship.
Oh, I like Aware, but like, come on.
I'm just saying, like
Don't
Call of
lie to
Duty-
the people, Ben.
All right,
Don't lie
Matt,
to the people,
Matt,
Ben.
what happened at season 3 finals? Just break it down.
Noble-
Give me a
Noble got-
refresh. I forgot
Noble
what
got
happened at
second.
season 3 finals.
Yeah, Noble got second.
Noble got second. Who got third place?
Most wanted.
So that's the 7th and 8th seed
I
going
forgot
into the
what- I
event.
think I
finishing
don't
second and third.
What happened?
My point is COD, anything can happen, especially in an event like this where it's the first event of the game.
I don't know, man.
Expect the unexpected.
If you
Don't lie
guys,
to the people.
if you guys could pick one of the lesser known teams to make it into season 1, who would it be? Let's start with Fatty.
Carnage.
Hitch,
That's what I was going to say, Carnage.
Matt,
Where?
Benson,
Lucky strike.
and I'm gonna say Carnage as well. I think that team has some potential. The one thing I kind of, and I guess there's something to being crazy on Twitter and tweeting at people and doing silly stuff, but I cringe when I see smaller teams do things like talk negatively about larger teams and things. like
Yeah.
that.
Oh my god.
It hurts. Like I'm just
I
like,
hate it.
you're growing. Slow down. There's a pro player that is going to remain nameless. Hopefully, he's watching. And it's
Nameless.
Did you say nameless?
Nameless.
It's not
Him.
nameless.
Kingdom hates nameless.
Not.
New judge. Hey, nameless. Well, it's all coming out.
I know, man.
You'll
Everyone.
know when I tell you what I'm about to say that it's not nameless. But they hit me up to ask about growing on YouTube. They actually wanted some tips for their channel. So I went and looked at their channel.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Fatty know who I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
I looked at their videos, and honestly, I was like, well, you're talking about Optic and Envy so much negatively, and your team is as well. It's like there's something that people don't understand. And Matt, you said it earlier, it might have been off stream, that maybe Optic is too big for the competitive scene, like, because nobody else kind of gets a way in. But when you're a smaller team and a smaller player and you want to grow your brand, you have to realize that if there's 1.5 million Nadeshot fans out there, then probably if you have 5,000, 6,000 subscribers on YouTube, you can almost guarantee that 80% of them are subscribed to Nadeshot, Skunky, and all of those players on Optic. So when you are negatively, it's like if I said something negative about the Green Wall right now, chat would abuse me, even though this is my show, you know?
The chat abuses you anyways. But.
I also think, though, the reason a lot of these players haven't seen, you know, the same growth that Optic has, and they haven't gotten to the same size Optic has because they don't work as hard as Optic. Like, those guys are uploading videos, they're streaming like 10 hours a day, like all the time. Like, everybody else is like, oh, I can't just turn my stream on and have thousands of viewers. Like, yo, this is broken.
It
It doesn't work. Like, no, you're just a lazy slob. Like, stop just like sleeping till 4 in the afternoon. Get up, edit a video, upload it, and then stream a bit, and you'll see your numbers go up. It's not just like, yo, I'm mad, I'm just gonna put a video on the internet and like I should have as many views as Nadeshot. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. These idiots. Come on, man.
Honestly, like, I'm so glad you said that, because like I feel like so many people need to wake up and like
understand
that thing needs to be like clipped and shown at like an informational thing. Like, I feel like it should like.
It's like,
Ben, you should have like a pro player meeting and just put that in like a VHS or like DVD player. Like, watch what he just said, because that's exactly what needs to happen.
It makes me so upset when people say things like that. Like, why does Nadeshot get? Because he's the only one that's done this. Like, he's the only one that's grinded that hard. Besides, like, you know, regular pub people. I don't know. Pisses me off.
No, but like, look at somebody
like Ali A and people like that. Like, they grind, but I'm talking about as far as our scene. Like,
no, there are some players who have they've blown their YouTubes up. Like, you know, Sharp is doing like a good job. Like, you know, Apathy is doing it more. Crim obviously now. I mean, no Censor. Even though his videos are like a little weird, like they're still good. But like, I watch them, like they're good. No, that's not even like a shot at Doug. Like, Doug is entertaining, man. Like dude, I watch Doug's videos. They're entertaining. Like, Doug is like awesome. I think like
good course correction.
but you know what I mean? Like, there was some videos a little off, but you know, I still think he's like fun to watch. Like, Doug he works hella hard on those videos, man. Like, you gotta give props to him. Like, you know, people like that, like, they're really trying to get at it. Like, everybody else needs that kind of mentality.
Yeah, so, but people last thing, the people that are doing it now, like, it's great, and they need to continue to do it, and they'll eventually, you know, they'll do nothing but grow, and they just haven't done that for like 3 years. Like, and that's what all the Optic people have done. Like, Midnight, Nadeshot, all of those people, they uploaded consistently and streamed for like 3 years, and nobody else has done that, and that's why they get super upset. It's because they didn't work for it.
Yeah, and I think that there's if you're not a Karma who can put up a goat simulator or whatever, you know, and people are gonna watch it, you can put up random videos, you know, but you can't be someone that's way smaller and then expect that if you put up a dope play just because you are a pro player and you have uploaded a video before, that people are going to be impressed with it. You know, like, I look at someone like Fizzerp, who has actually, he's grown slower, but he's consistently grown because he streams a lot, and he's always streamed a lot, and does S&D, grinds S&D tourneys like crazy in streams, and then he uploads crazy things that happen in those S&D tourneys, which is basically what Nadeshot grew on, is uploading his stream. Like, he would do crazy things on stream, and he would take it and he would upload it, and then he had certain series that people wanted to see, and I agree 100%. It's hard work, and there is no greater correlation to success than hard work. There is nothing else that anybody that has ever seen any success can say, oh, it was all luck. Luck is like maybe 5-6% of success, but there is and Matt was lucky. You know, I'm talking about Matt Haig, or Hag, or however you say his name, but Nadeshot, he was lucky because timing wise, it was perfect. when he decided that he was going to grind it out, and Hex kept encouraging him when he wanted to quit, and he kept doing it, and now he's Nadeshot, and so, and yeah, there's going to be another Nadeshot, there's going to be a new person that I said this about 3 months ago. If Krim gets on Optic, he will eventually take over Nade's spot with stream views, everything. And so I don't know how long that's going to take, but I think because of Krim's silliness, he's entertaining as all get out. When I did my best competitive videos of the week series, Krim was on there almost every single week because every video made me laugh. Just even regular gameplays, because of how easily he's killing people. And so I think Krim knows how to entertain people, and he does it well. He grinds the game. And I think that he's on a team now where, like, he tweeted, I told Goalie, he tweeted at one moment today, he said, hey, I'm going to follow somebody who favorites this when I hit 220,000 subscribers or followers on Twitter. And within, I wonder where he's at now, but within 20 minutes, he hit 220,000 or whatever it was. And I was impressed. I was like, wow, it's ridiculous. And so now he's at, or no, not 220,000. It was 210,000. So now he's at 210 and 249. So he's just continuing to grow. And I think that Optic is perfect for Krim. I was really saddened by all of the players on Optic Nation, the old Optic Nation, your Killas, your Miracles, your Rickies, that did nothing with the Optic.
Yep.
JCap got on Optic for 2 months and had 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, they kicked him out of the house real quick.
But he now has a consistent viewer base to build off of, and I think he's close to 200,000 now. But it's like he in 2 months gained 100,000 subscribers just because it said Optic JCap.
And terrible things for that.
What? Oh, for
100,000 subs. I do terrible things. Terrible
Okay,
things.
Don't tell us. Please don't.
Tell us. You won't do it.
Don't
I won't do it.
So,
you won't do it.
Matt, you were having an interesting conversation earlier off stream about the importance of OBJ, of that position.
Yeah.
So, do you want to speak on that a little bit? How important?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Like, what did you say verbatim?
Coming in.
I
So I'm curious. What do you say, Matt?
All right, Ben. It's kind of what I said the other day. Like, we come up with all these roles for people and stuff. It's like, come on, man. Like the OBJ, like a lot of times, like it's just like they just like label like, oh, that guy's like not killing anybody. He must be the OBJ. Like, that's not how it works. Like, come on. Like, everybody should be doing the objective. Like, well, that's actually a lie because I know when I play, I go nowhere near the flag. I go nowhere near the oddball. Maybe I'm a little bit off on that one. There needs to be an OBJ player, but I think OBJ players need to be held to a higher standard. They need to be actually
they have to hold
as well. Yeah, they can't just like, oh, like, yo, he's a good OBJ. He's like 11 and 40 with like 10 hill caps. Like, nah, it's like not very good. So. That's pretty much it.
That's a good
be a higher standard. Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah, I think I used some more vulgarity the way I explained it off.
Basically, what I just heard is Matt hates Nadeshot.
No, that's not true at all.
Damn! IQMG_Matt hates Nadeshot. So Smying hates Goonja.
Teep was considered like
hates Nadeshot.
Teep was considered like
hates Nameless.
Teep was considered like the best like slaying like OBJ player, and like Nade was like for the second half of Ghost, like Nade like carried Optic Gaming. I'm sorry, like, he was putting up more respawn kills and stuff. Like you don't want to hear it. No, I didn't say that. I would say it if I meant it. I would say it, but like Nade, I wouldn't even consider Nade an OBJ almost anymore. Like he's too good on search. Like he's too valuable on search. Like I mean,
but I feel like the roles aren't transferable to game types though. Like you can play OBJ in Hardpoint, but not OBJ in search. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're an OBJ player in one game type doesn't make it, like, you're going to be the bomb carrier in search. That isn't always the way.
No, I'm saying, like, Nade's, like, the shot caller for them in Search and Destroy. Like,
100%.
And he's usually in the top, 2 on, like, kills. Like, he's not, like that's not an OBJ player.
Do you...
Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not. Like, he's, like, you have to, I guess... everyone likes to label it as, but he's not. Like, he's like an equal member of that team. Like, there are some teams that have like, a
right now. Do you think he is?
Like,
yes.
What, like an equal member, dude? He like some of the games
I'm just
that
saying, like Slayer, like
he
But
can't.
I think
There's
he can
only
carry and kill.
there's only so many kills you can get. Like
When
I
you
mean,
have a teammate dropping 50, another teammate
Right.
dropping 40, and someone else who's about to drop 40, it's
right,
kind
but
of hard for him to
a lot of the
drag.
games that we casted yesterday, Ben, he was like in that 35 to
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
38
37,
kill
yeah,
range.
yeah.
Like I'm saying, like he's like getting almost near 40 kills. Like some games, like you're not an OBJ player. Like I'm sorry, like but that's not. It's not even like an apologizing thing. It's just kind of like, well, like maybe they don't have an OBJ player. You know, maybe they kind of share that role.
Sensor is in my opinion, Sensor is one of the true OBJs in this game because literally Aches tells him like go negative, and he's like, look, Sensor, you dropped 17 and 27 or whatever, and look how much we won by. He's like, you don't worry about your KD, just play the freaking hard point and die over and over, and we'll be fine. And I think Nade Shot is not playing that role, and what in my opinion, why I would say I agree with Matt about Nate Shot being equal to his teammates is it's hard for me to say this because I called Merc the best captain in the game, but Nade is leading his team extremely well right now. And I think without that leadership, like you replace him with Karma, and I think you have a lot of head-to-head butting of you got almost too much slaying and not enough leadership. And the times that Nade he's not just the shot caller in S&D, but he's also been shot calling in hardpoint. He's been shot calling in uplink. Like he'll be like, no, run it this way, go in glass, hold back, everybody flood, play the ball, blah blah blah, throw it off the map. And do they always listen? Of course not. These are extremely talented players that, like you guys said earlier, if Scump makes a mistake, he makes up for it by killing somebody. And so, but Nadeshot's leadership and communication, I think, is what is really helping and is going to set Optic apart. I don't think it's just their slaying. I think Nadeshot's ability to lead that team, the guy that is probably, if we all had to judge by talent, by pure raw gun skill, we would put Nadeshot at the bottom of the list. But as far as leading the team in game and not getting caught up in his head, Nadeshot's probably the best leader on that team. So I think that he is equally as important as the other guys, in my opinion.
Oh, without a doubt, you just nailed it. He's one of the most important players in that team. And what's interesting is he's important in other aspects as well. Because your point about Crim6, how he could potentially be one amazing YouTuber. Crim needs to look at Nadeshot and he needs to kind of learn a lot because Matt could teach him so much about potentially growing his brand.
Yeah.
And that's the key because you have someone like Nadeshot on your team. You don't want to just make this like a 6-month thing. You want to make this a career.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and that's the thing. Like you're literally being. That's the thing about Optic Gaming. You're being hand gifted a career, and like you need to respect that. And if you don't respect that, damn well sure Hex is not going to allow that, and he will get rid of you as soon as he can.
Yeah, but it's not a career. You made a really good point, Ben. It's not a career in that. Okay, like you play for X team and they hand you, a certain amount of money per month, and like you can just kind of like sit on your butt. Yeah. Hector and Matt are like, look, like you have the resources, you have the fan base, you have the following. What you want to make out of it,
that's not to you.
Content wise, you want to sell your own merch and whatever. That's up to you. Like as much as you put into Optic, like Optic you will get out of it. So I like that.
I love that.
It forces you to like work hard. Like.
Think about Imbos. This dude's coming out with his own clothing line. I mean, this is like these Optic players don't play. Like they're being handed an opportunity to have a nice fan base, but you have to actually get it. You can't just imagine that because I'm on Optic, I'm going to turn on my stream and then I'm going to have a career. It's like you got to work for it. And whoever, I think it was you, Matt, that said you got to work hard. Like that is so hitting the nail on the head. You can't just, and Hex said it when he was on the show. He said you don't just get on Optic and not work. And when you do that, when you get on Optic and not work, you don't see success, and that's not what they're handing you. It's like, here's a check, welcome to Optic. It's here's an opportunity to brand yourself. Here's a platform that can take you throughout the rest of your gaming career and maybe even your life, can launch you into things that you wouldn't even have expected that you would be in. I mean, a lot of these players from Optic have things and brands that they're going to, and I'd like to see Scump do some more personal branding and things like that. But he's that good of a player where people will watch him just because he's Scumpy, and he knows that. But I'd like to see him have, different kind of series and stuff on his channel and maybe think outside of the box of just of other than just playing the game and showing us.
Right.
Because I think there's a lot of potential with Scump, but he's still a young guy. He's young. I think he's young up here. You know, Scump has a lot to learn, just about life in general, and I think that Nate is accelerated, and maybe it was taking care of his mom and then going through her passing and stuff that helped him, but he's accelerated a little bit beyond the other people that are his age when it comes to his business savvy and his hard work ethic, you know, and things like that. So, I mean, I applaud him. Sorry for fanboying Nate, chat. I know I'm going to hear about this on Twitter, probably from Alex. All right, so we got to end soon.
Let me ask
either Hitch or well, we'll go Hitch. You can get a question from Twitter, then Fatty, you can get one, then we're going to close the show. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
All right, I have a question.
Watch, he's not going to get up. He's just going to go to the bathroom right now.
I have a cup to, you know.
I don't know if I have a
Whoa!
I peed about 5 minutes ago. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
You didn't even move.
No.
That's crazy. Some say Mr. X pees his pants.
Dude, I got a washing machine over here, dude. I can piss my pants. All
If
good.
peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
Yeah, you just wash off, dude. It's not biggie. Old people piss themselves all the time, dude. I don't hate.
All right, what's your question, Hitch?
You ask yours first since you linked it.
All right, mine comes from, hold on, Aaron FPS, and he says, what do you guys think about the European scene? Is it improving or not? And Benson, we'll start with you first for obvious.
Because you're from Europe.
I am? Oh, shit. Wow. I didn't know. In terms of, so this is the big thing about the European scene, and if anyone tries to argue with me, I will backhand you.
Do it.
There's two aspects of the European scene. There's the quality of gameplay, and then there's the scene development. So that question can be taken two ways. You know, are we talking here about the quality of gameplay? In terms of individual players, Europe has some of the best players that COD can offer. You have your Swannies, who never gets enough credit. You have Jerd. I think everyone now knows about Jerd. Madcat, for example. Look at what these guys have done when they've come over to America. All right, they've never had such phenomenal placements. The highest one, of course, TCM placing third. Champs, there's always been some disappointing play, but you can take games that teams have played, like Epsilon versus Impact, Hardpoint Slums, 100-point clubbing, the best hardpoint team on the game. Go to G3, Epsilon taking down Optic Gaming there. You know, there's all these big sort of argument points for Europe being very talented, but then you see things like we saw at iSeries. I don't know how many of the guys in the chat or
I saw some of that.
Yeah, like the maturity level in Europe is so far behind what it is in North America. And in all honesty, the reason I say if anyone tries to argue with me, I'll backhand you. Like, I'm in a position where I've been to so many events from both Europe and North America. Probably more so than anybody else. I don't think there's going to be that many people that can say they've casted in Europe and they've casted in North America as much, like in terms of the diversity of the events. So, like, I've seen what the North American community is like. I've seen what the European one is like, and it basically comes down to professionalism. That's the key. You know, the North Americans, this is a career, this is a job for those players. In Europe, that isn't the case. Then the argument comes, you know, should they act like professionals or should they wait for it to become more professional? And that's always a very, very gray line. Yeah, King. Yeah. You see that face right there? You can just let that process in your mind. That doesn't really make any sense, right? Because the logical answer to me is act professional. The professionalism will come, and that's the kind of route that I took. But some people kind of assume, oh, it should be given to us. We should have more prize money. You know,
That's
we
ridiculous.
should. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying everyone in Europe does that. There's some amazing Europeans, like for example, Marky B, Swanee, Gunshi, Excellence. That's just like a small, just few off the top of my head. But like, in terms of the general community, we should be gifted, and that isn't how it should be.
Like you were saying, I mean, Europe has some great players. I mean, I don't think need to kind of run down the list. You kind of ran through it. They just need to get a little bit more professional, I think, with it. I think scene development, it just needs to grow a little bit more. It's difficult from the standpoint that they don't have as many events frequently. They're not given the same opportunities, but I think they need to put themselves out there. And
but then
I saw some of the stuff that went down on iSeries. I mean, dude, I love LAN events like that. I mean, those are the ones that I remember playing in where you're sitting right across from somebody yelling at somebody at the top of your lungs for 12 hours straight. But
that's why we don't have coaches.
But then the big thing that
but that's over. We can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's like when I saw that, I was like, imagine if Sledgehammer see that vine. What goes through their mind?
Yeah.
It's like children. playing.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to legitimize this as something where people can come in and make a career, make a job out of playing Call of Duty. They're giving us $1 million for the past couple of years where it's been, oh, great, we finally have big tournaments, some big prize money. Players can really, you know, make this an actual thing. It's become valid.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we go back to, like, being apes. Like, that doesn't make sense. And the big problem is, like, Europe gets tarnished with this reputation a few times. Like, you go back to Black Ops 2 qualifiers, there was some really bad press with that. And don't get me wrong, it happens everywhere. It happens in North America. But the big thing is when the events that like matter, like the big North American events, you'll never ever see it there because it's been stamped out. And it comes down to the tournament organizers to say, hey, you do that, I'm dropping a map. But right now, no one has the balls to do it.
I actually I have a funny story. MLG Chicago 2006. Yeah, it's a long time ago. I know video games existed then.
MLG
made it-
Pong, like
Yeah, no, we made it to the finals. It was a continuation. We went up 5-2 maps, and I got a at the time, which is a technical foul. I said something really. I don't think it was too bad. I mean, it was bad, but and we ended up losing host last map, and I was like, oh, yo, screw it. Like it doesn't matter. Like we're gonna win. Like next map we lost. Map after that we lost, and then next thing is no, it's like. Game 11. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, you're nice to have a host right now. Game starts up. My 3 teammates die. I'm in their spawn. I'm like, shit. I die. We lost. Yeah, so we dropped like 4 maps straight.
Nice.
Yeah, no, not my greatest accomplishment, but something like that made me realize. Well, at the time, made me realize. After that, I went back to how I was, but. You can't do that type of stuff. I think if we gave more technicals and penalties, that it would change things a little bit.
That's the issue with Europe. No one is willing to do that, and the sooner they do, the better. Gfinity is kind of on that edge where I think they would, but you don't see that kind of behavior at Gfinity events. It's the EGLs and I-Series. They need to be seen more as like a major European event as opposed to a community event. It's actually that was how I-Series was actually marketed as a community event. It's like, well, there's not that many events in Europe. This should be major.
Gfinity serves awesome peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, so that's why everybody's well paid.
You're right.
I think what the players need to realize is we're not too far away from having teams sponsored by like Tide or these big family companies that will not come into the scene.
Every time
he always says Tide.
Every time.
It's like the one I think of the
he
first.
always says Tide.
Do you have like Tide in front of you? Is it like
Yeah,
a...
No, I don't. I think it's because I think of the NASCAR stuff. Like I think of logos, and that's always the one that comes
Mighty
up.
Fatty is sponsored by Tide. And he's like
This
just
is like the
facing and stuff like this. Like
Even fat guys can have clean laundry.
That is the best quote. Please get sponsored by Tide. Please.
No, but you see what I'm saying.
I'm
Like,
writing email for you right now. So
like YoPlay could come in and like sponsor a team, but they're not gonna do it until they see that these players are clean, and that's why like
you said
like,
clean.
I know that's
I meant,
what happened.
like Nate Shot. So I don't want to come back to Nate Shot, but right before he got sponsored by Red Bull, what did he do?
I don't know.
Anybody remember? He changed the intro to his videos.
Oh yeah.
And that was one of the reasons I honestly I didn't watch Nate Shot for a little while because I did not like the way he started his videos off. Just because I'm just kind of that bugged me.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's part of the reason why I'm here is because I saw a very huge lack of professionalism, and I thought I could help change that. And I think I even said that in the video that I sent you, Benson. So it's little steps like that make a huge difference. And I think if the players just focus and say, man, I'm going to be a millionaire doing this. And I truly believe a lot of these kids could if they just cleaned up a little bit.
Yep. And all it comes down to that and accepting the inevitable truths. You can't act like children anymore. This is a thing. But in all honesty, one of the biggest things, and this is what annoys me the most, is social media. In terms of, if you look at the difference between the North American players and the European players in social media, there is a polarizing difference. It is scary. You look at like the top 6 teams from North America and the top 6 teams of Europe, and you just be like, wow, wow. And then I just don't get how players don't realize you tweet like an idiot. What company is going to want to sponsor you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who is going to want to attach a brand to someone that can't control social media? And okay, it may only be to like 15,000 people, but so what? Like that, you can't tweet like idiots. Social media is so important.
15,000 people is a lot of people, man.
You don't know who looks at them.
I mean, I know. So, I mean, comparatively to like the North American pros who are on 150, 200. Like I know, like comparatively, it's a small amount. A sponsor, like that's huge. You can't act like a baboon anymore. Like this is serious stuff. Act like it.
I agree.
All right.
Let him know, Ben. Let him know.
You want me to do my question now?
Yeah, go ahead and then we'll...
You can speak now, Hitch.
An hour and a half to do his question.
It's an important question to me. I'm European.
We learned though that fat guys can have clean laundry.
Can have clean laundry.
You can.
Clean clothes are not just for skinny people. They're for everybody.
My question is from Joe Rardy. He says, "This is for Ben. Do you regret the moment from playoffs when MW got knocked out, or can you explain what exactly happened? Hashtag the STiKS.
MW got knocked out.
What happened?
Oh, right. So let me explain. This is something which I feel like people don't realize. So the whole thing with Most Wanted is apparently Most Wanted could hear the casters through soundproof booths.
Yeah.
Which is weird. The first thing I want to point out is at no point in the entire tournament did anybody come and say, by the way, we can hear the casters. So immediately, that's down to the players to say to the casters, hey, we can hear you, because it's happened in the past. And casters completely changed the way that they cast. Immediately in S&D, you go completely quiet. You don't say a thing, because in S&D, it's much more important that you don't get heard. So that's the first thing.
I like to lose people games.
No one said a thing. So that's the first thing. So when all of a sudden they say, we can hear casters, it's like, well, you haven't said anything. That was the first thing. Second thing, casters are there to entertain and be, factually important. You try and give people analytical advice, or you explain what's going on. In my case, I'm one of those casters who is more of an entertainment type of caster. So I try and make it entertaining. For everyone in the stream, at that time, I guarantee you that was a very, very entertaining moment. So I'm going to do what I get paid to do, which is entertain the stream. So in all honesty, the fact that they heard me, I spoke to Spacey immediately after. I was like, dude, did you hear? And he was like, yeah, we could hear. But I spoke to Noble. They said that they couldn't hear. Now, I was on Most Wanted side of the desk. I had them to my left. So Noble told me they couldn't hear. Most Wanted said they could, but I apologized to Spacey immediately. I was like, dude, I'm sorry. But, in future, you have to let us know if you can hear. Because, how am I to know? I'm just doing my job. And then some people were like, oh, well, you shouldn't do that in that situation. It's like
that's your job.
You're just at the desk seeming like you're just getting it, dude. You have no idea what the hell's going on. Yeah.
But the big thing as well, which people didn't realize is, and you can probably blame me for this, I guess. As I got hyped, the crowd also got hyped too.
Yeah.
So when the crowd starts standing up and the hands are on the head, oh god,
I think that's what really did it. Honestly,
that in all honesty, I think that was what was done. But then you can blame me ultimately for that, which is fair enough.
Just blame the British person and pretty much.
No, I was going to defend you, Ben, but the fact that you said we can all blame you now, I'm perfectly okay with.
I appreciate that. But no, in all honesty, it's one of those things. Yeah, it's annoying. Would I go back and change how I casted it? Probably, if they'd have told me. But ultimately, I'm just doing my job. That's what I'm paid to do.
Scott Gandhi was the best entertainer. I saw that in the chat. Scott is just a savage. He's a caveman. He has no morals. He doesn't know how to use electronics.
Can't keep his clothes on.
He's a caveman. Can't keep his clothes on. He's all gangly, his beard and hair.
Smells of Gouda.
Yeah, right. He doesn't have Tide.
That's another good point to point out. Ghost was a really boring game to watch.
Oh my gosh.
And this is something people need to realize. The casting in Ghost was so different to what it was in Black Ops 2. And I
thought about hurting myself during Nashville. It was really bad.
Dude, I didn't want to cast Ghost. So it got to that point at the end of the game. I was just like, I don't want to cast this. I don't have fun with it.
I didn't cast for the last month, except for the charity event I went to in October. It's not that I get invited to go to UMGs or MLGs.
But all I'm going to say is to the chat, imagine watching that whole Ghost season without any casting. Just think about that. Some of the best moments from Ghosts, a role where it's just two casters having fun with it. That's what it is. This year is going to be very, very different. I already, with casting with Matt, we have a good little feel for how this year is going to go.
You do, dude. I like you're trying to feel me all the time, and I'm like, stop.
Rubbing your legs and you saying no. I was like, come on,
Like, don't do those nasty things to me. We're on camera.
But off camera.
I don't know what you just said.
Yeah, so my question is,
Kingdom doesn't even know what's happening.
No, I'm watching Censor's video because Nameless tweeted at him that he disliked it, and so I went to watch it, and it doesn't make any sense. He basically is saying Optic is going to win everything or something. It's weird. You guys have to go check it out after the show. So, sorry, I was lost. It's like a minute long, but it was like, what is going on?
Yeah,
I literally forgot you were in this Skype call.
I was
And I like
quiet.
I think he was still peeing. That's what it was.
Oh yeah,
still
yeah.
filling up that cup.
I pissed myself like 3 times sitting
All
here.
right.
Yo, I'm getting you like Hoogie
Funny story. So,
Yeah.
you know, I go to church. That's also part of my job is that I work at a church. And my wife was singing, and she had 3 of my 3 kids sitting on the front row in the chairs. And while she was singing, she had them watching her iPad. And when everything was over, we left, and there was like this big wet stain on one of the chairs. Yeah, it was pee. One of my kids like just sat there.
Hey, he just let one fly. Dude,
Didn't
that's
see
awesome.
anything. It just left, and it was like front row. There's this gigantic wet stain.
It's all dripping off the chair.
What a trooper to have the confidence to do that.
Who
I give him
pees like
props.
that? It was a
He's
clock.
like, I ain't giving up the iPad to one of my brothers.
He's like,
I'm going right here, right now.
He was a champ. He was just sat there and just walked away like it was nothing. I was like, what? I just thought it was funny. I was kind of sad, but you know. Anyway,
Yeah.
so transitioning to the closing of the show. So the way that we close the show usually is that we go around and you get to say whatever you want to whoever you make it clean. We get to say whatever you want
Damn it, man.
to whoever you want.
I feel like that was directed towards me in a way.
Gotta be 30 seconds or
He's
less.
been dropping F-bombs on
30 seconds and less.
Yeah, unless you have like a monologue that you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have anything much wrong.
That's just my rehearsal.
How much
I'm trying to be.
you love the American flag. So you can say whatever you want to whoever you want about whatever you want. We'll go Fatty, Matt, Benson, Hitch, and then myself.
All right. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Kingdom. Thank you guys for showing up. It was a wonderful show. Make sure you're using that code GREEN, all capital letters, for your G Fuel purchase in the next couple days. It ends on Wednesday, so you can get 30% off. Anyways, this has been your short, fat friend. If you ever need a caster, hit me up. Benson, Matt, caster.
Direct towards me, and that was
I
direct
still
towards
do
me.
that. What?
No, I'm messing with you. Yeah. Who goes next? I go next.
Yeah.
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 Can you not remember? This was literally 30 seconds ago. Goddamn, pay attention.
Dude, I like. There are these times where I zone out, dude, and I like start like thinking
Just
about.
do your
crazy
30
stuff.
seconds.
Like,
He heard that
yeah.
I was talking and zoned out.
No, I was just staring at
This is 30 seconds.
you on my thing, but you're right there too.
This is your 30 seconds.
Anyway, yeah, no, thank you for having me on the STiKS Kingdom. Had a great time. Always have a good time on the show. If you're not following it, follow the channel. Subscribe to the channel. I don't think there's anything else you can really do besides follow and subscribe. Like, you can type in the chat, you can do crazy stuff, but just stick to those 2 and then progressively go towards the other. Benson, I'll see you this week. Me and Benson are casting the AW event in Columbus, MLG 25K. It's me, Benson, Puckett, that older man that smells like alcohol. A few other people will be there casting, but yeah, no, it'll be a fun time. Have a happy Thanksgiving too. Thanksgiving, it's like soon. It's Thursday. Yeah, have a good one. Eat turkey, gravy, stuffing. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, that was a good one. I don't really know how to follow that, but thank you to you guys first of all. Awesome show today. Thank you for everyone that tuned in today as well. For all the new subs to the channel. Hello. Hope you guys have fun. See you guys in the future. Big thing I want to say, massive thank you to all my fans. I'm in a pretty awesome position in my life right now. Very, very grateful. So thank you to you guys. And I will see you later on in the week, this weekend. MLG Columbus. Make sure you guys are tuning in.
Hi guys, this has been Hitch wearing a blazer, aka my hair is better than Matt's. I just wanted to thank you guys for for everything. Thank you, Kingdom, for letting me on. And also, thanks, Benson and Matt, for coming onto the show again. In all honesty, I'm really trying to pursue this whole community and get like some kind of career out of it. And so you guys are honestly. And also, the tweet of the week is coming from Dale, also known as Seams. And this is when he said,
Yeah,
I knew they
Dale.
were a myth. And he is trying to find Censor's thumbs. So I'll put that in the chat, and we'll see you guys next week.
Net week. All right.
Net week.
This is your boy Kingdom Soldier. Thanks for stopping by today and subbing. I think we're really close to getting more emotes. But thank you guys for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Golden Boy, if you're watching or if you watch this later, just for all the support you've given us on Twitch. We appreciate it. Thank you, Censor, for your awkward video. What Matt said earlier, definitely that video reveals that he was right. Some of your videos are just strange. But hopefully you have some... you're going to get a lot of views with it because you put the 4 optic guys on the thumbnail, so I'm sure you're going to get a lot of views. Thank you, Hitch, Fatty. Thank you, Matt. And thanks, Benson, for coming on. Appreciate it. It's good to get, I think your accent is fading a little, but it's good to get...
You're not the first to say that. It's a genuine concern of mine. I've gone to bed listening to audiobooks. Harry Potter is the one. I wish I was kidding.
Quaffle.
That word, man. That word is gonna get me in trouble this weekend. I swear.
I'm using it.
I'm gonna say it wrong. It's gonna sound like
we should make a thing
And-
where only when me and you cast, we call quaffle.
I can't say that because I'm just gonna say something else.
No, you're gonna say quaffle, or I'm gonna say quaffle, and I'm just gonna stop speaking, and you're gonna have an awkward pause.
Combination of like,
And he'll just die laughing.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. I mean, we can give it a try. I mean, why the hell not? I guess whatever.
Why not? All right. Hashtag quaffle. All right. Thank you guys, though, for stopping by the show. Thank you for coming to it. This is going to be 2 hours long, so I'm probably going to have to cut it into 2 episodes. I know you guys hate when I do that, but if you legitimately are going to sit down and watch 2 hours, which some of you will,
Just cut out the hour and 50 minutes that Benson talked to.
No better way to end the show. This is your boy King of Soldier, Hitch, Fatty, Matt, and Benson. We'll see you next week. I'll try to do some type of a we may do some kind of a recap on Saturday if we can, but we of course will have our recap on Monday. Do you guys know, Matt, is Golden Boy going to be at this event? He is, but for Halo, right?
Oh, for what?
He's not a Columbus.
Doesn't Halo have an event? Is it somewhere else? The same?
Yeah. Oh, it's in Columbus, but like a completely different time.
Okay. So he won't be at the event. All right. So we'll get someone to come on that's going to hopefully be available or back home or something to recap it. Good luck on the show tomorrow. You guys both on the show tomorrow?
Yeah. I'm on the show with Ben.
All right. Everybody in the chat that is watching right now and is going to watch this on YouTube this week, I want us to try our hardest to get one of them to say quaffle on ESR tomorrow. We are going to tweet it at them, retweet it at them, favorite it at them. We're going to force them to say it tomorrow on the show.
I'm going to say it and just stare at Ben.
I'll see you guys next week. Oh, my gosh.